If there's any game series that practically mastered polarizing gameplay, look no further than the Mario Party series. Mario's take on virtual board games is certainly fascinating, with its colorful board designs and a surplus of minigames to break the routine with some skill-driven competition. Well, mostly skill-driven. Each installment in the series offers its own stupendous set of gimmicks, but all of them manages to maintain the ideal friendship-killing charm that's practically became its signature theme. Yeah, because if there's one thing I'd like to take away from playing a fun, happy Mario game, it's getting strangled by my sister every time Toad and Bowser swap places. Fuck this! I have a pretty straightforward reception for most of these games. Rather past its time. Nearly perfect, boring, ambitious, hysterical, underrated. What? Unique. Never played, never played, never played, never played, never played, but looks more fun than the really tame and tenseless one. As for the game in question, Mario Party 3, it's hard to really sum up what I think of it. It's certainly one of the biggest games in the series, given the mechanics it advanced and the extension of game modes. But I can't decide if I really like this one or find it too flawed to hold up today. When I was a kid, I recall this being my favorite Mario Party for a while. But as time goes by, I'm starting to pick apart more and more loose bolts on it that makes the experience much less of what it was. So out of morbid passion, I'm gonna pick this particular game apart and see what aspects of it make for a savory experience and which of it feels like a laundry of self-worth. Let's begin with the premise of the show. Mario Party 3 starts with a mysterious giant star crashing into the gardens of Peach's castle, interrupting Mario's casual vacation in the form of intrusion of royal property. The party friends all gather together to discuss who should keep the star. That's when a Lucky 2 came in and dropped a toy chest, essentially suggesting the gang to settle their debate through bullshit-generated events. With the hosting prowess of Mr. King Dice, they initiate the battle for the right of possessing the Millennium Star. So off the bat, we got a cute little story to give you an incentive to get interested in what this game has to show for. Something the later games really doesn't try anymore. But I digress. This is also the first game in the series to feature a single-player story mode, where you play and unlock boards in a sequential order. Also, it's the game's way of introducing Daisy and Waluigi into the series. And let me tell you, it's hilarious. Watching these two not only try to swindle their way around the game, but also launch Bowser's ass to the moon is a complete spectacle. It's moments like these that really make me miss the experimental days of Nintendo, when they weren't constantly playing their characters too safe just to stick to their brand. In terms of the game modes they featured, there's Battle Royale, Duel, and, well, Minigame. Unlike the previous titles, the minigames here are not locked behind microtransactions. What? Virtual microtransactions. As long as you unlock the minigames from playing them on the boards, you can replay them anytime. Now let's talk about the main Battle Royale boards, a standard of the series. Party 3's Battle Royale has a few of its own gimmicks scattered on each board, but still maintains the standard win condition. Get 20 coins, buy stars, win. Every board has environment-derived hazards such as Chilly Waters with its fragile ice root that breaks when stepped on by more than one person, and Mr. Blizzard rolling a giant snowball towards nearby players. Others include quicksands and mirages in Spiny Desert, the Thwomp Carrier and Womp Roadblock in Creepy Cavern, and Waluigi's Island, which is just chaos. It maintains a few features from the second game, such as the bank system, where every passing player deposits 5 coins, and the item shop, where you can buy a variety of items to strategize around the board. The latter is given a significant revamp, which I'll get to eventually. On the flip side is the duel maps, a new game mode where you get to fight a singular opponent on a minuscule board while having a little goon tag along with you to take shots on your opponent. 12 little renegades to pick from, each with their own perks, like high defense with no attack, rolling an extra dice, and bashing through the opponent's entire squad. In story mode, you shift back and forth between these two types of boards until you face off against the Millennium Star himself in the series' very first boss battle minigame. It's about as epic as you'd expect, albeit slightly stiff. So that about covers everything Mario Party 3 brought into the table, and from the looks of it, that's a lot of stuff. With this much content, it's more than likely it hit a lot of bullseyes, right? Well, yeah, it does actually. Might as well get into the good stuff about this party and see if it's worthy of the gamers in the land. Mario Party 3 does a lot of things right, and amazingly so. It's no spit take that got this game into being my favorite Mario Party through childhood. First off, the minigames. On top of being free once unlocked, these are some of the most creative and addicting minigames the series has been known for. It certainly helped that we're long past the age of control stick spinning death. It's a Pizza, Aces High, Toadstool Titan, Vine with Me, Mario's Puzzle Party, Title Toss, Action Catch, Pop Gun Pickoff, Motor Router, Locked Out, Storm Chases, Eyesore, Snowball Summit, and freaking Stardust Battle. Just some of the examples of the awesome minigames this installment has to offer. Even the minigames a lot of people hate, like Awful Tower, Ridiculous Relay, and Frigid Bridges, I still kind of enjoy. Maybe because I have a knack of getting accustomed to very tricky minigames. Now, obviously there are still some pretty bad ones, like Cheap Cheap Chase, Bowser Toss, Slot Sync, The Beat Goes On, and MPIQTOIQ. But they are few enough to be considered an exception rather than the rule. We still have more than enough good minigames to keep the board playing experience fresh and strong. Speaking of boards, let's cover those Battle Royale boards, shall we? In my opinion, these are some of the series' strongest set of boards. It absolutely helps that they're all very distinct in design and have hazards unique to the aesthetic of every level. Boards like Chilly Waters, Spiny Desert, Woody Woods, and Creepy Cavern all take full advantage of this design. And the amazing soundtracks that accompany each of them absolutely sells the atmosphere. Waluigi Island is, in my eyes, an example of a chaotic board done right, thanks to the amount of unique hazards and branching paths styled across. Name it, the coin-killing time bomb, the island of randomized spaces, the various pipes and pitfalls that take you everywhere. It's absolute madness in the best of ways. Very much unlike most Bowser boards that only have a central hazard built specifically just to steal all your money. If there is one bad Battle Royale board though, it will be Deep Blue Sea. It feels like a map that's built on wasting time and offering you little space to strategize around where you're allowed to go. Doesn't help that it has one of the worst placement for a star space ever. But like I said, exception, not the rule. But the best part of the game by far? The item system. This game has some of the most complex item management in the series, and honestly, opens up some of the best opportunities for strategic brainstorming I've ever seen in any game. Unlike most items in future Mario games, where it's all just stealing coins and moving additional spaces, the items in this game offers a greater variety of options, such as making you move backwards, allowing you to call for a shop at any time, forcing a Bowser space onto someone, preventing Boo from stealing your items, and even switching out the star space. But you'd be damned if you think it all stops there. There's even rare items that allow you to turn the tide of the game at your will, taking all the money from the Koopa Bank, stealing all of the opponent's items, and even bending the time to either extend or shrink the game down to 5 turns left. Add the fact that you can carry up to 3 items at a time, and there's a lot of room to create some of the sickest turnabouts in any round of Mario Party. God damn, those are some clean pots of gold that we got. With all of these factors at hand, this game is already on its way to become the best game in the series. Which makes it all the more conflicting when you realize exactly what it did wrong. And oh boy, am I not looking forward to covering these. You know how the entire Mario Party series is infamous for having a surplus of luck-based elements? These moments always tear down the conception of winning the game by working your way through skills and minigames and strategies in boards. Name it, happening spaces, chance times, battle minigames, hidden blocks, and in the future games, random bonus stars. These moments aren't too bad when they're far apart from each other, and when they happen, they can decrease the predictability of a game's outcome and create more excitement. But like I said, it had to be handled well. And in the case of Party 3, it's one of the worst defenders in the series. Luck-based minigames are a dime a dozen in this game. It's one thing when it's just the normal minigames, but when item and battle minigames get involved, it's all the more devastating given the stakes at hand. Having no control over the money you can get back and the item you could get in favor of a blue space can be a huge killjoy. Stack Deck, Merry Go Chomp, 3-Door Monty, End of the Line, Hey Better Better, Swinging with Sharks, and even Winner's Wheel all emphasize huge focus on forced luck for the sake of reaping rewards. Even Mario Party 2 has only 2 luck battle minigames, and the one luck item minigame is in the one board that's built to be unfair. Now frankly, I don't mind some luck in my Mario Party, but the least I could ask for is having some control over the consequences. Which brings us to our next bombshell.
Bend over, Private. I'm a vacuum full of motivation.
Woo boy! What do I have to say about Game Guy? It honestly baffles me that so many Mario characters get a lot of crap thrown at them by the fans, yet no one's batting an eye on this pitiless disgrace of a Shy Guy? Why? Not only is he a greedy bastard who forcibly takes away all your coins and forces you to play his games, but those minigames he offers... I resent Game Guy's minigames quite a lot. They are the worst case of luck-based perversion you could get in any Mario Party. Magic Box gives you a 50-50 chance of selecting a Toad Box and tempts you further with more rounds if you win. Roulette scores down your chance of winning to a maximum of 30%, And Lucky 7 has 2 fail consequences by either landing short on the stairs or falling off of it altogether. Sure, you get to multiply your coins if you win these minigames, but that's only hideous temptation to make you think this mess is worth it. You know, like real gambling. Never before have I wanted to disc throw a roulette wheel into a volcano so freaking badly. If you think the consequences of losing all your coins isn't that bad, wait till the duel boards start loading in. Conceptually, these boards have a really cool concept with all the varying types of partners you can get to have duke out with your opponent. The catch is though, you have to pay a set salary to your active partners, run out of money, and they're gone. So you can imagine how painful it will be to deal with Game Guy in moments like these. The board itself already operates at a fast pace, so being interrupted with Game Guy stalling for time just to take your coins away is a big no-no. It completely breaks the smooth experience of these boards and pretty much ruins a huge chunk of duel mode. Should you land on a Game Guy space, you best hope that you get Sweet Surprise and bet on the Big Chomp. It's the closest you'll ever get to a guaranteed victory when it comes to dealing with this tasteless sack of money back. Apparently, Game Guy is so freaking terrible that he might actually be the main reason Mario Party 3 will never get a re-release. The gambling motifs and mechanics got pretty absurd all thanks to him. If there's one good takeaway I get from experiencing this since childhood, it's that I'm never doing any material gambling for as long as I live. So yeah, that's Mario Party 3 in a nutshell. I know I got pretty harsh about its negative at the end there, but I suppose that just about covers why the game feels so conflicting to me. Sure, it still did a lot of things right. The minigames played really well and the boards were all kept fresh with gimmicks that don't overbear. And it certainly helps that the item variety adds a platoon of opportunities to strategize with. On the other hand, it has just enough luck-based kinks to really cripple what should have been a perfectly joyful experience. Thankfully, the future games do amend some of these mistakes, like taking Game Guy out completely and replacing him with Toadsworth in 7. The old bean actually gives you the option to wager how many coins you want to double in a somewhat clunky but serviceable mic minigame. You can even deactivate it if you don't feel like having it in the game. So even if 3 left a few sour marks, at least some of its closer successors know how to adapt to the good stuff that it brought, and mend the not so good stuff before taking it in. I mean heck, Party 3 is far from a bad game itself. It may not be the best in the series, but I still really enjoy it, and will definitely pick it up and play for a pleasant party experience. The golden age of Mario Party has always managed to find ways to keep its gameplay addicting, and never felt especially stale to the point of being hardly replayable. Unless it's 4. Thanks for tuning in everyone! This has always been one of the games I wanted to talk about when I relaunched the channel. I'm all for sharing my thoughts on the Mario Party games, so if you want me to talk about another one of these, or any Mario game in general, feel free to drop your suggestions in the comments. Have a good day!